And welcome back to our audience edition of Hannity Stoned America. Now we're going to bring back our audience of experts and pundits in just a minute. But first, advocates for legalizing pot have long claimed that it would make using the drug safer. And they even say that it would lead to an economic boom in certain areas. Well, among those who feel that way is my next guest. He helped push the legalization efforts in Colorado and is now the Director of Communications for the Marijuana Policy Project. Mason Tvert is here. Mason, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We actually went in. Somebody just said you're stoned.
How ironic is it when a bunch of dumbasses, like Fox News contributors or whatever, are like, this guy is stoned. And that's the same kind of joke that they would think a stoner would make. Like, you know, and then they laugh about it. Like, how are you thinking that you're any better than stoners when all you do is make retarded jokes and stupid arguments, but somehow you think you're better than them?
We actually went to one of the dispensaries. We're going to show that later in the program tonight. Do you have any financial interest in this at all?
No, you know, like most Americans, I simply think marijuana prohibition has failed, and I'm dedicated to trying to end it and replace it with a more sensible approach. So just like someone might work for a nonprofit on gun rights, I'm choosing to work on marijuana policy.
And keep in mind that while Hannity asked the question, like, do you have any financial interest in this? Hannity has a huge this is his job. He gets paid to do this. Fox News makes money by saying this stupid shit to their old ass people that think like marijuana is something like niggers and spics do. Yeah, like, and stupid white kids, like, they don't have any concept of what legalization actually means. They're like, you want to give it to children? Like, shut the fuck up. You've got no reason except financial interest, Sean Hannity, for you to even be talking about it right now. You're making money while you talk about it, and yet you ask other people whether they have a financial interest. Go fuck yourself.
All right, so you see the kids in the video that when we went out to the 420 event this weekend in Colorado, you see them, they're smoking pot, they're smoking a lot of it, very stoned, they're all happy. You heard the doctors and their observations about people that smoke pot on a regular basis, even people that went to school with them. What has your experience been? You see people smoke pot regularly. Do they have the same motivation that you do? Maybe you smoke pot regularly.
I smoke pot regularly, and I am highly motivated. I work full time. I have a family. I make YouTube videos, and I'm part of an online show. I do live shows. You know, like I'm highly motivated. I don't understand what the argument is. Like, are you saying that people that drink can't also be highly motivated? So, Sean Hannity, I'm sure you and none of your colleagues at Fox News ever drink. You're all sober, because otherwise it would take away from your awesome motivation to spread your retardation to the rest of us, right?
Well, we know for a fact that marijuana is an objectively less harmful substance than alcohol, as a lot of your guests have pointed out. It's less addictive, it's less toxic, and it doesn't contribute to the violence and injuries we see with marijuana.
But it takes away
alcohol.
But it takes away their ability to function, their motivation. Anybody that I've met,
not according to the Institute of Medicine.
I'm telling you a story if you just pay attention. Anybody I've met in my life that smokes a lot of pot has zero motivation. They're not people that I consider bright, energetic, happy people in my life. That's been my experience.
That is a complete load of bullshit. People like Bill Maher, they openly smoke pot. Carl Sagan. You have tons of people out there. How can you be a marijuana advocate? The guy you're talking to is a marijuana advocate who, and you're like, but stoners can't, like, they don't have any ambition. They don't do it. Wait a second. So how are stoners coming about trying to legalize the shit, you dumbass, without any ambition? I mean, you could make this argument about anything. People who eat a lot of Big Macs, they don't have any ambition. People, you know, people who drink a lot, they don't have a lot of ambition. People who take Oxycontin because of pain or because of Rush Limbaugh, they don't have any ambition, right? And anyone that has any ambition is totally sober all the time, and you can't smoke pot and have ambition. I mean, I'm stoned right now, and I have plenty of energy, enough, and I can see through your bullshit too. So you tell me, how is that so? I'm waiting.
That's quite frankly, that's just
the
has
fact.
something to say about who you hang out with. But the fact is that half of Americans have used marijuana.
All right.
Our last 3 presidents, some
Are
of
you
our
a
Supreme
parent?
Court justices, you know, some of the most productive people in this country have
I'm
used
talking
marijuana.
about people that
No,
not
I'm not
used. There's a very different distinction here between experimented, used, and those that smoke it every day. Those that need their hit every day.
Is there Hannity? Is there a big difference? Because there's no difference when it comes to you wanting to make it and keep it illegal. There's no difference between they want to have 1 hit, 1 joint, 10 joints, 5 joints. It's just like alcohol. People that abuse it will abuse it, but there are those that will use it responsibly. Do you not fucking understand this?
For example, let's say you have kids and you see these videos of these kids at the 420 event. Your 21-year-old son or daughter says, I'm going to the 420 event, Dad, and you're going to say what?
Well, I would say you're fucking 21 years old. Go do what you want to do. I can give you advice. Don't do anything stupid. Don't drive after you smoke weed. You know, there's nothing inherently bad about a 21-year-old going and smoking some weed. Just like it's not a problem for a 21-year-old to go out and drink. Any parent out there that's like, I didn't let my kid do shit, and then I expect when they turn 21, they won't have a sip of alcohol, and I'll tell them otherwise. Like, you're out of your fucking minds. You think you have more control than you really do. Kind of like conservatives, kind of like Christians. Okay, the Republican, you think you have more power than you actually fucking do over people's lives. It's not the fucking way it works. 21-year-old fucking people have the right to go do what they want to fucking do in a free society. Mr. Libertarian, this is the same guy that supports Clive Bundy and like, fuck the federal government. But when it comes to pot, he's like, oh, the federal government says it's bad, so it's bad. I'll just listen to whatever they have to say because I'm just a fucking talking head with a fucking toupee.
I'm going to say, well,
Have
first
fun.
of all, it's illegal to consume marijuana in public, so be careful. But I'd much rather them use marijuana than go out binge drinking. I mean, you're going to an event
There's a
that is the
difference between-
equivalent of the one biggest frat party of the year for alcohol, and you're trying to somehow suggest that all marijuana users are these
All right.
young
Do you stop at
stoner
marijuana?
kids. I mean,
Do you want to legalize
simply-
crack? Do you want to legalize heroin?
This isn't a discussion about crack and heroin.
I asked
We're talking about
no,
a
you want to
substance less
legalize
harmful
pot.
than
I'm asking
alcohol.
if you want all drugs legalized. That's a simple question. That's a
I
logical
think that
question.
Okay, so if the slippery slope is a simple logical question to you, Hannity, whereas like if you want to legalize pot, then you want to legalize crack and heroin, then why is it not a simple logical question to ask, well, if cigarettes and alcohol are legal, why is pot illegal? Pot that's never killed anybody. You cannot overdose on it. The LD level is way too high. People die from cigarettes. People die from alcohol. Those things are legal. So if those things are legal, why can't we slippery slope it to marijuana? And from there, then we can have the conversation about the other drugs. How about that, you dipshit?
I think, like most Americans, I think the drug wars failed, and we should re-examine those
I
policies.
asked you
and
a
look at
question. I
things
didn't
like
ask you if the
mandatory
drug wars.
minimums.
Do you want to legalize
No, I don't.
heroin and crack?
Sean, no, I don't want
I'm
to.
just
I don't
asking
want
where
to
the line is
legalize
for you. All right, you answer.
heroin and crack.
All right,
no,
thank
I don't
you.
want to legalize heroin and crack. I'm here to talk about marijuana, and it's
Right.
clearly you just don't like the people who use marijuana. You
That's not
like
true.
hanging out with people who drink.
That's not true. No, I think there's a big difference.
Well, I saw you
think,
on your program
I believe,
recently
hang on a
showing
second.
people how to
I
shotgun a
agree with the
beer.
doctors and the experts we have. I believe it's a gateway drug. I believe number two, those that use it regularly and particularly, I think they lose motivation, they lose ambition. They are not as alert and aware and as engaging as the other people that I meet in my life. But anyway, Mason, we got to roll. Thank you. Appreciate you being with us. All right.
So in this incredibly fair and balanced news reporting, the guy got like 4 sentences out in the entire interview. He didn't get the last word. He didn't even get to say goodbye. Hannity just steamrolled the shit out of him. And then he said stupid shit like, 1, it's a gateway drug. B, you lose motivation. Like, you can't even get A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3 separated and into the right columns, Hannity. And somehow we're supposed to listen to you about how, like, oh, stoners can't get this shit right. You're out of your fucking mind. This, like, they don't have motivation if they do it too much. That's the same argument you could use for fucking alcohol. But you're not... Sean Hannity and Fox News and all the other anti-marijuana people, they're the same to marijuana as Christians are to homosexuality. And that is to say, people that are against marijuana, they're against marijuana, but they're okay with alcohol. Just like, and they cite the law as their, you know, their main source for this. And then you look at Christians, and Christians say, well, we're against homosexuality, but then you don't see them boycotting, or, you know, like trying to get Red Lobster shut down, even though both of those laws come from the same source, the Bible, the Leviticus, the same book in the Bible. So you see what I'm saying? They want to choose which things they can make is all right, and they're basically just traditional morons. They can't fucking figure out that marijuana is not that bad, and neither is shellfish, and neither is homosexuality, and neither is alcohol. Jesus, am I the only one here that's able to be like, none of those things are that bad? Why the fuck is such a fuss being made? Everyone else is like, oh, such a big ordeal. God, Jesus, go fucking get a hobby.
Head back to our studio audience. All right, what did I promise? Yes. What did you think about that conversation? Well, you think this is just the beginning? Do you think it's a gateway drug? Do you think...
The thing is, all of this is creating pot culture. I'm not as nervous about the drug as I am with the obsession of the pot culture. What happens with young people is they don't learn how to cope when they start smoking pot.
You're a young person.
To relax.
Right.
I'm way too type A. I never relax is the thing.
All right.
But when people don't learn to cope, then they become adults who smoke all the time.
You and I are the same way. Type A. All right,
Oh, okay. So wait, your point was that you don't have a problem with the drug, you have a problem with the drug culture, and the drug culture is only there because the shit's illegal. It's no more like prevalent than the alcohol culture or anything like that. And then your argument against it basically is like your type A personality. You're very energetic. You never stop going. Therefore, nobody else is allowed to do anything. Like, everybody has to be a type A personality. Go fuck yourself. You know, go busy yourself doing something the fuck else. Get your nose out of my fucking life and my business. How about them apples? Go type A your ass right out my fucking front door and go type A your ass to go feed some homeless people. Spend your energy doing something worth fucking while. How about that?
Joanne. All right, let me go to Todd Starnes. Todd, you come at this from a moral perspective. You write a lot about moral issues. Morally, do you see this as part of America in decline?
Oh, I think absolutely that's the case. What we have here is a case of money over morality. And, you know, right now it's really funny. Folks, we're watching the chuckleheads, you know, we're watching these folks doing what they're doing out there and getting a good laugh about it. But when the body count starts rising, when more people start dying, then maybe, yeah, it's real funny, isn't it? Real funny to talk about.
Yes. People are going to fucking laugh at you when you say shit like the body. Yeah, I want to see you laugh when the body count rises from marijuana. You know why people laugh? Because no one dies from fucking smoking pot, you complete fucking moron. And if you were so against people dying, you would be trying to forget marijuana, which doesn't kill anybody. You'd be against alcohol and tobacco. You would be freaking out on them. This would quickly turn into a discussion where you would be talking about how many people tobacco and alcohol kill every year and how pot is pretty much fucking harmless. So what if it demotivates you, by the way? Is that not your right here in America? Are you forced to be motivated? Here in this land of the free? I don't understand their fucking arguments, really. Like, well, it makes people lazy. Well, is it not your right to be fucking lazy if you feel like it? If you want to relax, is it not your right to fucking relax? If you want to drink, you can have a drink. We tried this. It was called Prohibition. It didn't fucking work. Why don't you fucking get it?
But this is a classic example. This is a classic example, Sean, of people just not giving a damn anymore. You know what? They want to do whatever they want to do.
Don't give a damn about marijuana ODs. I also don't care about safe falling on
No, wait a minute. Hang on a second. I think what you're saying is they start with marijuana, then they drink, and then they snort coke, and they do blow, and they do this.
That's right. Sean Hannity just said, first they start smoking marijuana, then they drink. Apparently you do the illegal thing because it's easier to get a hold of and everyone does it before you end up drinking. Apparently that's which is legal. Apparently that's, and then you do cocaine, and then you do blow, which is the same fucking thing. But I'm glad that Hannity knows so many terms, and he's so caught up on this drug culture that they're all so terrified of because they have no fucking clue what it is. anything can be a gateway to anything. The strongest argument for weed being a gateway drug is that once people, like, they hear all this bullshit about how terrible it is, and then they try it, and they're like, this is actually kind of nice, then they think, what the fuck else are they lying to me about? Maybe cocaine's not so bad either. Let me try that. And you know, trust me, it's not the fucking same thing. Don't think that, like, all drugs are that's terribly wrong. But that's the best argument for how it's a gateway drug. But that's because it's illegal. And you make such a fucking big fuss about it and how terrible it is and how wrong it is and how we can't do anything. Like, I can't even function. I can't even record and edit and post this video on the fucking internet because I'm so retarded right now because I'm stoned. No. You're just fucking stupid. It's sad that as stoned as I am, I'm still way more alert and able to fuck over your shitty arguments. You just make no fucking sense, and it's easy for me. Easy, even though I'm stoned. So how ironic is that shit?
Where do you draw the line?
Sean.
That's the issue. Where do you draw the line?
You know, listen, so if you look at cigarettes, right, there's a huge push out there talking about how bad cigarettes are for you. Alcohol is the same way. What are we seeing about pot over and over again? It's how great it is. Gavin's talking about how great other drugs are. It's no longer the conversation is medical marijuana helpful? Yes, the doctor said so. But is other weed potentially bad for you? Maybe.
Keisha.
Yes. Why is there a promotion? That's my problem with it.
I agree about the cigarettes. Is a good analogy. The whole society, you can't smoke a cigarette even in your own apartment in New York anymore.
Right.
What? What? He's like, I agree about the cigarette. That's a good analogy. You can't even smoke a cigarette in your own apartment in New York. What? But you're the fucking one making the argument that people shouldn't be able to smoke pot. And then you're like, that's a good analogy. Look at how shitty these rules they have are. But you're the one in favor of the shitty rules when it comes to marijuana, you complete fucking moron. This is the most frustrating shit. You completely killed my fucking buzz with your idiocy. It just seeps through. It's just like I need a shower after I listen to your fucking retardation. Who is too stupid to follow what you're saying for fucking 8 lousy minutes and figure out that you contradict yourself and your arguments are shitty and it's just terrible all the way around. It's so fucking stupid and pathetic to look at. 50 years from now, when pot has been legal for a while, they're going to look back at you and be like, look at these fucking morons. Just like we look back at Reefer Madness. We're going to laugh at you, Sean Hannity. Hannity Madness. Coming fucking June 2064.
Well, Sean, just coming from an attorney's perspective, most of my clients, I do criminal defense work with adults and juveniles. I would say 9 out of 10 of those clients have used marijuana on a regular basis. And these kids who are committing crimes, they were high on marijuana. So their judgment is all messed up. And I do believe it's a gateway drug.
Were 9 out of 10 of them drunk? Is that a good excuse for making alcohol illegal? You understand how simple this fucking is? Did 9 out of 10 of them smoke cigarettes? Is that a reason to make cigarettes illegal? Did 9 out of 10 of them have their baseball cap on backwards? Oh, that's the problem right there, you see? It's the baseball cap, because I'm fucking too stupid to fucking see things. It must be the baseball cap. It must be the, it must be the marijuana. It must be something because we're just fucking stupid.
It's not a kid's thing.
Yeah, but
It's not for anyone. It's a gateway drug.
If you legalize it broadly, it's going to be more available to kids.
Last word, Guy.
You don't have to be a super criminal to
Guy.
get
And I know
alcohol
But
as a
it's going
child.
to be easier if it's legalized.
You don't have to be a super
country.
criminal now. So how much easier is somebody passing it to them?
Well, listen, look at
Guy.
that. You think everybody's 21 at that pot party? Honestly, you think everybody's 21?
The majority
There's no
of the
way.
pot smokers in America are not on the campus of Colorado. Just like, look around the room. First of all, everybody on this panel is going to be talking out of a different place. The sound guys, the camera dudes, they all smoked before. Every single one of them. Look at the guy on Boom. Look at the guy on Boom. Look at his beard.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Well, first of all.
Let him answer.
Wait a minute. He's a friend of this program, and I work with him for years, and I can tell you that's not true. That's
Never in
not
his
true
life,
about
he
him.
never smoked
Not true.
one joint
No,
in
you
his
said
life.
today.
I didn't say today.
That's stereotyping. People would assume.
Actually making candy now. They got candies made out of marijuana.
Yes, pointing to you.
Candies. Now, what
We
are you
got to
gonna
take a
do?
break.
Have
Hang on. We'll come back.
Look, I don't agree with the stereotyping the guy's doing about like everyone on the set is high or whatever, or has smoked weed or whatever. But at the same time, the fact is that a lot of people smoke weed and they perform their jobs just fucking fine. Just like a lot of people drink occasionally or heavily, and some people drink, they're complete alcoholics and they still perform their job to a satisfactory degree, you know? It's just absolutely ridiculous. But to go from like, oh, it's such a gateway drug, but then not be against alcohol or any of the other things that you don't consider a drug, and caffeine hops people up. Is that scary? You know? Because, I mean, marijuana is to heroin like caffeine is to methamphetamine. You understand? They're on different ends of the fucking spectrum. And you guys still want to classify it as like a class A fucking like felony drug. It's a class 1. Like, go the fuck away. It's obviously not. And that's the fucking point. And what are you going to give the marijuana to the 7-year-old children? What about like apple cider? That's like apple juice and alcohol mixed together. They should make that illegal, right? Because it's like marketing to the children. When are you going to fucking grow a brain?
When we come back, more on our startling new report linking casual marijuana use to brain abnormalities. That's up next.
And just after that, they're going to do the report on how watching Fox News makes you fucking way stupider than the average person. Like, watching no news is pretty much more informative than watching Fox News. Or you could watch Fox News and just disagree with everything that they fucking say and then, like, have a better chance of being correct. But that report's later on in the show, I'm sure.
To the newcomers that do come here to try pot for the first time, to try something a little smaller in milligrams, in the pot.
All right, so the potheads in Denver, they're not too concerned. We'll check in with our doctors. They're here to respond tonight. And then later, it's our exclusive look into a pot dispensary. We're going to give you a tour that you'll actually see what it's like in Colorado. You get the choices and how anybody over 21 can go in and buy pretty much as they want. All that plus why politicians and celebrities are also to blame for the pot culture in America. Mr. President, that may include you.
And of course, they found a way to blame Obama for the pot culture and shit. Do they blame Bush for, like, the cocaine culture or anything like that? No. Of course not. It's Fox News. It's basically like, potheads are lazy. Thanks, Obama. Go fuck yourselves. Coctopus out.